Well, we just want to take a few minutes here and let you know about a change that's coming up for this Sunday.
As you know, since we started the regathering process, we've really committed to being careful and taking a lot of precautions with the guidelines and everything. And we sure appreciate you honoring those and taking care to be a part of that.
And we want you to know that we remain committed to keeping our members safe as much as possible, but also while trying to avoid acting out of fear. And we've tried to really navigate that carefully through this time.
As most of you know, this past Saturday, the Wilds made a difficult decision to cancel the remainder of their summer camps because of some of the implications of the virus on the campsite. In tune with that as well, many of the staff members are now quarantined to the campsite for the next several days. We also have an increasing case count in our own county now for the first time. And with all of that taken into consideration, for this Sunday, we wanted to take a pause in our regathering process, and go to a more limited number of folks gathering here in the auditorium for this Sunday. Now, we'll still live stream the service as normal at 10:30, and trust that you'll plan on joining with your family, the members of your household, to take part in that service.
Now, even as our regathering process continues to be affected by the virus, I know we would all be ready for it to be gone and done, but obviously that's not the case. Even in this time, though, we want to encourage all of us to step up our efforts to stay in touch with each other during this time. And it's especially important that we get creative about how we go about doing that, to connect with not just people in our local church and people that are connected to us, but also to our community. And there are many people who are lonely and hurting during this time, many who have questions, who are wondering how to handle life. And we have a golden opportunity to try to meet some of those needs. And I would encourage you to be prayerfully considering how you can go about doing that even in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I think one of the temptations during a time like this where there's so much uncertainty is to turn inward and wonder who is going to minister to me, who's going to reach out to me. And one of the ways to combat that is to be actively looking for people to minister to yourself. And you may think you're the most needy person, but I think as life and even the scriptures always reveal to us, there are people out there that are hurting that need our interaction, that need truth spoken to them. So whether it's in our own church body, going through the directory, looking through the directory, praying for people, letting them know that you're praying for them, reaching out, whether it's by text, even sending a video message. A phone call is surely a good thing. And even if you're comfortable in the right kind of a setting, you can meet together and pray together. But don't sit back and wait for people to come and minister to you. Be active. Even if you think, okay, that person has so many people to reach out to them, or they have a lot of people to surround themselves with, that might not be the case. So be proactive in that. In regards to the community, one of the things we've noticed is people, especially lost people in our own neighborhood, have far more questions right now than they've ever had before. And I've mentioned it a couple of times, but in the past 4 months, we've had more deep conversations with our neighbors than we've had in the previous 5 years that we've lived here. So take advantage of those times. Ask questions of your neighbors as you have time to talk. Ask them what they're thinking about all of this, and does any of this scare you? Ask them those kind of questions, and then take what they respond with and find ways to inject the gospel, inject truth, give them something to think through. Another thing we did just recently is we became aware of a community family that friends of ours that lost a loved one recently, and that's difficult enough, but in this climate with limited memorial service and limited cemetery gatherings and such, it can be even more difficult than normal. So we took the time to have a couple of pictures that we found on their Facebook page that we knew meant a lot to them, and we printed them out, had them framed, and wrote a note with scripture and dropped it off by their house just to try to be an encouragement. So again, so many opportunities during this time that are really unusual that we can be aware of.
And this really goes back to our philosophy of discipleship here at Bethany. As you know, we believe discipleship encompasses evangelism. It's reaching out to people around us and ministering the word to them. And that goes for lost people. It goes for believers as well. So I would just encourage all of us to really work a bit harder during this time of uncertainty. And don't move farther apart. We need more than ever to be drawing closer together. And the Lord can help us do that. So let's continue to pray for opportunities, but then look for opportunities and take those opportunities to prayerfully minister the word to each other.
We'll give you an opportunity this Wednesday night during our 6:30 Zoom meeting to minister the word to each other. For those of you who can join us online, we've had a number of missionaries over the past months, and that's been enjoyable and very helpful and instructive. But Wednesday night, the 15th, we're just going to have an opportunity for some testimonies of what you've learned, what God has taught you, maybe even some opportunities you've had throughout this time, and just a chance to give praise to the Lord and minister in word to each other. So I trust you'll plan on joining us Wednesday night at 6:30. We'll email out the link and instructions sometime on Wednesday afternoon as well, but hope you can join us then.